Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
You seem like a reasonable guy. How about we come to some sort of arrangement?
Where can I get an entry ID?
You can't. We're full. We're short of supplies. So the decision has come down to close the gates. The full allocation of entry IDs has been given out, and we have instructions not to let anyone else in. Those outlaws have us stretched enough as it is. I'm not saying you're working with them, but until law and order is reestablished, we can't risk any more undesirables joining up with them. You'll have to wait till all this is over and done with. Say, there's a bunch of others who can't get in who've taken up residence in some houses near here. Why don't you join up with them?
Have there been any Alb attacks here recently?
With Zakor on our northern border, there are always Alb troops coming through on their way somewhere, but they don't seem to be attacking us here for the moment.
But have you heard anything about Alexiters traveling through Abessa?
Yeah, I have now that you mention it. Alexiter Calyx was reported to have headed north with a few combat units and a troop of mechs.
Alexiter Calyx, so he's been promoted. Tell me, how long ago did Alexiter Calyx head north?
A few days ago. They must be back at the Ice Palace in Zakor by now. What's with the interest in Alexiters? You go chasing them, you'll just find trouble. And I don't want them tracing that trouble back here.
I'm asking so I can avoid them.
Don't treat me like a rookie. You sound like someone who wants a showdown. So let me give you a warning. That approach is gonna get you and anyone close to you killed.
Welcome to the camp of the impure, where the poor souls barred from the city stand and wait for the Alps to kill them.
What do you want here?
We don't want anything here. We want to be in there, in the city, as the law says we can, as the law says we should be. Those clerics are supposed to uphold the law, yet here we are. The gate's closed to us.
Well, if it ain't Hunter, the Duke's been asking after you.
The Duke knows where I am, and you can fuck off.
I want to get into the city. Can you get me in?
Have you tried to get in yet?
Yes, I went to the gate.
And? You got turned away, right?
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Okay. I can offer you a way to get into the city, but it's risky because you might not get out again. At least not if they confiscate your ID.
Why won't I be able to get out?
All right. I just hope things don't go the same way they did with Cooper. The clerics have shut the city up tight. They won't let anyone who doesn't have a valid ID through the gate. Not in, not out.
Why would the clerics stop people leaving the city?
They're stopping them meeting up with us. That's what I heard. Paranoid assholes. Anyway, we're off the point. You want in, right? And I can give you a counterfeit ID that will get you in. But once you're inside there, I need you to go and take an ID card to Cooper. That way he can come back out again. Like I say, I can get you in, but I also need you to help me out. You good with that? Does that sound like a deal?
Deal. Give me the ID, and I'll meet Cooper.
Good. Right. That's the plan. Long term. You see, Wick has all the blank IDs. So before I can get you an ID, I need you to get me Wick.
Where is Wick?
Well, that there is a good question. You see, he's been gone for a while. He'd gone over to the ruins to see if there was anything worth scavenging there, and hasn't come back. You should look for him over to the northwest if you're in a hurry to get into the city. Just look through all the houses. He should still be there, scavenging.
Wick is dead, but I found the ID cards on his body.
Dead? Shit. I told him whatever was there wasn't worth the risk. But Wick would do anything if it would mean him getting two shards he could tap together. Ah, well, give me the blank ID card. I'll work it up for you now. So, done. One fake ID ready to go.
Give me the counterfeit ID.
Okay, wait a second. Your image has to be added there first. So, done. Here's your ID. And this is the ID for Cooper. Take it to him. But make sure the clerics don't see it, see him, or see you handing this over. And do it as soon as you get in there. He's been at risk too long as it is. We don't need him being held, or worse, turned into a vegetable by the suggesters.
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
I have an entry ID. Let me through.
Really? I thought I knew all the ones that had been issued. And you were here asking about getting ID before. So tell me where you got this one.
It's mine. I was issued one after all. Must have misplaced it.
All right. I'll believe you this once. I've got to be wary. That desert gang of outlaws is always trying to find ways to get by me. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately, and Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together, and we keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magalan. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. You may pass.
What's happening in the city?
Nothing right now, but it's simmering. You can feel it. There was something building even before we let those Alp separatists in here. They just lit the touch paper. But hey, we're supposed to be a sanctuary, so someone decided to open the gates and let the separatists in.
How many separatists are there in the city?
Too many. Once an alb, always an alb. They still hit Elex. It's just a matter of time before they turn back. I don't know what they want in the city. I'd heard a bunch of them had set up a base in the west of Abessa, so they could have gone there. If we weren't so busy here, we'd have tracked them down and cleared them out of Abessa. Last thing we need is Zakor thinking we're harboring rebels.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
Where can I find Eric?
Just go straight down the path into the inner city. You should find him there.
You mentioned the Council of Magalan.
The Great Council, yes. You'll have to speak to Judicator Alois if you want to know more about that. I'm not that well informed on my history.
Who's Alois?
Alois is the Judicator in charge of the city. You'll find him in the castle. He likes to stay close to the generators.
I heard you hold people prisoner if they can't prove their identities.
Of course. You need a valid ID to enter or to leave. It's important we keep the right balance here, and that we can hold people accountable. We've worked hard to keep things running here. We can't start letting people flood in, or the troublemakers will take over. Anyone who tries to get around with ID is given straight to the suggesters to be taken care of.
What do you want? Do you back the clerics here, or do you want them gone?
You get right to the point, don't you?
And are you gonna give me an answer?
I'm against the clerics.
Right, good. I can see you talk sense. They say they're here to keep things safe, to keep order. But it's obvious they want to drop their neutrality and extend Ignadon's control into Abessa. Not allowing anyone in or out of the city, that's just the start of it. You think that's because the Alps are getting closer? Or that those followers of Kalan really want a backdoor for invasion?
Well, if there's going to be an invasion, I'm going to need some ammunition.
And you want me to give you that? Well, this is like being back in Tavar. People asking for things and expecting to just get them. But yeah, if I'm gonna talk about the need to fight, I suppose I should give you something to help you out.
Hunter sent me.
Why didn't he come himself?
He was afraid he wouldn't be let out of the city again if he was caught.
You mean he was afraid the same thing would happen to him that happened to me? Fuck it. At least the suggesters haven't found me yet. Did Hunter give you something for me?
Yes, I have something for you.
Thanks. I was starting to think that I would never leave this stinking cleric-infested dome. I don't know if Hunter promised you a reward, but here's something for me in any case. You've helped a good cause. Trust me.
Why don't you do something to stop the clerics?
I trust you. You gave me my ticket here after all. But I can't tell you our plan. But you must have realized by now the dome must go. The clerics can't be allowed to take Abessa.
Hey, you!
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
There are raids, but there have been no major assaults recently.
I'm sure that's just the calm before the storm. I just hope the dome holds. There's a lot of people depending on this dome of mine, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignodons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it, then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Ignodon?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Alb attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
I can repair the energy regulators for you.
Thanks for the offer, but that's not necessary. I've already repaired the components. They just haven't all been installed yet.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I'd wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? So, let's find out who you are. You should go to Ignodon one day. You could be a good cleric. Yeah, I know I left Ignodon behind, but they could offer you better training than I could. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
What is it you want?
Who are you?
You first. Come on. Who are you? There is something that is familiar about you, but I can't quite place it. No matter, I suppose. All people are welcome in Abessa, as long as they are prepared to forget their past. Even Albs are allowed in here. I think Albs would be perfect people if they weren't so emotionless. But then, that is why they are the only faction I have never belonged to.
What do you mean? You mean you want to become an Alb?
That's a long story. If you're really interested in my tale, then I will tell you, of course.
Sure, let's hear it. I'd like to hear it. You want to tell me over drinks sometime, or tell us here?
Tell me your story. How did you end up joining the clerics?
Right, I'll give you the full version. Well, the short version of the full version.
Just get on with it.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. So, I grew up in Goliath in Edan. My father and mother were both born berserkers, and so that meant I was too. Back then, Bajar ruled over Goliath. As a child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to your parents?
Well, what else? They were exiled. Nobody ever told me why they were exiled. I still don't know what they did, even today. I hate the Berserker laws. Nothing against the Berserkers. They're just people. It's the laws I hate. I think what the Berserkers want to do with Magalan is right. But I can never forgive them for what they did to my parents. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Edan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive. That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then... I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Edan, but there wasn't the same raptor shit. The laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
Then why didn't you remain with the outlaws?
Because the reavers who'd taken me captive came to the fort and wanted to speak to the Duke. I think they wanted to take me back. I fled when they saw me. I didn't want to be taken back, or for them to kill me to hide their crime. When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the Hort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens. That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
Yes? Is there something urgent? I have a lot to do, as you can imagine. This city does not run itself. So, please excuse me if I am short with you. This city is made up of a whole mass of confusion. Everyone looking for a new start. No one able to forget their past. They need a leader to hold things together.
You're in charge here?
Well, let's say that I'm the person holding all these threads together. There's no ruler here, we all work together. Everyone here wants something. Whatever you're searching for, it will only add to the list of demands we already face. And providing for the people we already have is a logistical challenge. That means to accommodate everyone we're on strict rations, and those rations have to be earned.
You should sell it all. Then everything would distribute itself.
How long have you been in charge of the Dome City?
I've been in office for 8 years now, and it hasn't been easy. Maintaining a neutral position to the factions while fighting the Albs. By Kalan, there really are more pleasant posts they could have appointed me to.
What if someone wanted to replace you?
Some have tried, yet I am still here. This city was created by the Great Council of Magalan. They made the clerics custodians of this place and their legacy. The Great Council may be long gone, but what they stood for, a unity of purpose, a future for all of Magalan together, that is something we still believe in here. So, it is our job to remain neutral. It is our job to serve all, no matter their background, however hard our residents make it for us.
How are things here in the Dome City?
Tense. The battles out there are always reflected in here. Tensions run high if the outlaws attack the clerics, or the clerics attack the berserkers, and there's always the fear of an Alb invasion. Those tensions drive greed, anger, and fear. There is war out there, and here your shards will be stolen from your hand if you aren't careful. It's like the world has gone crazy.
Why have things become so bad?
That's a whole host of reasons. Maybe it would help you if I tell you how things are. The berserkers have lived more and more reclusively ever since the pilgrim went into his retreat. The outlaws are more organized now the Duke has taken power, and the Alb separatists seek shelter with us to escape the powers in Zakor. All told, very dark signs that we face another global catastrophe. And here we are, in the middle.
Is there something I can help you with?
If you want to help, there is something that has to be taken care of quickly. You must have noticed that the mood is very heated here. One more issue, one wobble, and everything we've held together here will fall to pieces. One of my people has reported that the outlaws are expecting a weapons delivery. The last thing that this city needs is more weapons. And who knows who the outlaws will sell them to. I want you to intercept this delivery and bring it to me.
Are you having a lot of trouble here in the city?
Keeping the factions together is always an issue. The outlaws are always up to something, but things have gotten worse, and to cap it all, we've had a sharp rise in thefts. I believe an organized group has started operating here. Not the usual outlaws. This group seems to be outside the factions. From the little I've heard, they're more like a secret society than your regular set of theft-mongers. I've offered a large bounty for any information that leads to their capture. And capture would be best. I want to find out who their connections are. If you can find out more about this secret society, I can make you rich.
Listen, the council is gone. Why care about what they said?
You don't think that was a better time? Laws for prisoner exchange that assured borders, set rules for trade. Even if you don't care about the blood spilled since the council's rule was broken, the clerics swore to a code, and that includes keeping our oaths. And an oath was sworn to the council by my forefathers. That makes it my duty to see that oath is kept.
About the outlaws' weapons delivery. You've been using informers to try and catch them?
Of course. Information is key to keeping the peace. But there are always things you miss. And missing things leads to nasty surprises. And I'd rather be the one dealing those out than receiving them. Particularly when it comes to outlaws. Are you going to show me that you are the exception?
I'll take care of that problem for you.
Good. Very well then. Your target is a woman. Her name is Paige. Get her talking and hope that she brings you in on her plan. Take these shards. You may need them to buy yourself some trust. You'll have to find Paige yourself. She's a slippery customer, and we've lost track of her.
Contact? Is there something I should know about her?
Apart from the fact that she's one of the outlaws, no. As soon as you get those weapons, or any information, just make sure you bring them to me.
Huh. What do we have here? Fresh meat?
Paige? It is Paige, right? I haven't seen you in a long while.
That's because I get out of the way every time I see you coming, Ray. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? I'd watch out. They're probably trying to recruit you. You wouldn't be the first to come here looking for shelter only to end up bowing down to Kalan. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
Where do you get your goods from?
Mostly directly from Tavar. And that's the main problem. Seeing as the clerics have got picky about who comes in and goes out of here. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Alois knows you are expecting a new delivery.
Does he now? Well, he always was the most paranoid of them all. Still, let's say he's right. And that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from the Separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards. And that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave the city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
Do you really think you can trust the Separatists?
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine. And even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Hey, you. I heard you speaking to Eric. He gave you an energy regulator for the dome, right? Give it to me, will you? Very soon now, you're going to need the right sort of friend, and giving that to me will earn you that.
Why do you want the regulator?
Haven't you noticed the tension here? All the anger and the plotting? It scares the hell out of me. So I want a way out of here if things go wrong. A sort of backdoor. I want to modify the regulator so I can drop a section of the dome and get out if things go bad. Let me modify it. Then I'll give it back to you so you can get it to where it needs to be. You've got to see why I'd want a way out, yeah? So do we have a deal?
What's in it for me if I help you?
Profit is profit. I respect that attitude. What do you think about 100 shards?
I won't give you the regulator.
Then you've blown your chance. And don't come back to me and ask for help when no one will let you out of here.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
You think it's better here?
Yes, for sure. For me, at least. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
Who is this berserker that's giving you trouble?
Brabak. A bull of a man and twice as ugly. Bone-breaking bastard.
About Brabak. Where can I find Brabak?
He's usually near the inn. Just follow your nose. If it smells like piss, you found him.
Leave Brabak to me.
You'll deal with him? That would be great, really great. You won't find me trying to put you off that. If you think you can scare him off so he leaves me alone, that would be good. Even if I do, I think ramming a knife into his guts would be a better approach. I would have tried that myself. But if I'd failed... But if you do get rid of him, however you do it, then I will pay you.
Ah, the gift and treasures of travel, for it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant? Bounty hunter? Or a nobody, like most people out there?
I'm not in a faction.
Well, guess you're one lonely son of a bitch then, aren't you? Here, before you start begging for help, consider it a gift from the Duke. You gave me enough that I can share.
Thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank the Duke. If you end up in the desert in Tavar, you can thank him in person by joining the outlaws.
How do people live here?
Here, smoke one with me, before you start bombarding me with questions, yeah? I have the best stuff here.
What do you have to offer?
Troll dung, rat scab, it's all first-class stuff. Snort it, smoke it, either way. You'll never forget the experience.
Forget it.
Well, that's your choice. From time to time, you need to open a door in your head and look inside, right? But if you won't, then all the more for me. That done, let's get into the real business.
Business? With me?
You see someone else here? Real business. A proper opportunity. You see, the clerics have had this city under their control for years. And the Duke thinks they're planning to take control everywhere, sooner or later. And he thinks the Dome City could be the starting point for their military campaign. So, my job is to find out if he's right. If there is something brewing that could be dangerous for us in Tavar.
What information have you gathered about the clerics?
Pretty much nothing so far. They've not been very loose-lipped around me. I must sorta stand out.
So, you want me to be your spy?
I want you to find out information. Now, I can see in your eyes that you haven't fallen for the cleric's tricks. You aren't simple enough to believe every piece of troll shit you're fed.
What do you expect from me?
All that you have to do is get some answers out of somebody, and I've even got the guy lined up ready for you. His name is Lutz. He's one of Alois's technicians. As far as I know, he's trying to re-establish communications with the other clerics in Ignadon, while Alois will tell you the clerics here are neutral, separate from the ones in the Horde. Go and grill Lutz. Find out if there'll be an offensive soon. Do that, then come back to me as soon as you have any useful information.
You know, helping the Duke out is probably a good idea. He gets kind of pissed when he finds out you didn't.
How many shards are you talking about?
Enough. The Duke is generous. I pay. That much you can be sure of.
Where can I find Lutz?
If he's not on a call, then he's usually working maintenance on one of the generators. Just walk along the battlement path up at the top. You can't be far.
Why do you think that these technicians will know about the cleric's plans?
Because he's the guy that maintains all the communications equipment. He must have heard something from the comms. And he's more likely to talk than anyone further up the chain. I want to know what he's heard. I need to know what he knows.
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
I'm not a reaver.
Then I hope that means you're here to help.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people could make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to defuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of Elex, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? Elex marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took Elex in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed Elex in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the Elex you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an alb. I know Elex and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I change my mind.
Hey, you. Hey, it's you.
Yes, Fink. It's me, Jax.
I heard they shot you down, that you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zakor, from being slaves to Elex. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here, we are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
I will give you my support.
Good. We have to stick together. People blame us for this war, even though we left Zakor to escape it. They will doubt us until the day peace begins. I mean, they don't even trust each other. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. It's the only way anyone will survive.
It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
Well, I, for one, don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
You aren't alone in that view. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
Do you need help?
It is good that you offer to help us. The berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance, but there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zakor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and Jorg. They are key to our future.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and Jorg?
Jorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to Jorg. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
If you're here for the food rations, then I'll tell you what I told the other 100 people. Someone must have been making a joke.
I don't have anything to sell or give out. So you can just turn around and leave.
What are you talking about?
The free rations. The free rations, as if there would ever be free rations. Ah, but you're not here for that, are you? Then I'm sorry. I have been the butt of a joke that has left me rather angry, and I thought... Well, I'm sorry. It's just... I'm just so sick of it. The belligerence between the berserkers and outlaws. Everything was simpler when I was a cultivator in Goliath. We had laws and everyone obeyed them. Why can't people just all work together?
If you feel that way, why don't you go back to Goliath?
No. Those days are gone. I left willingly to establish a world heart here in Abessa. But when it became clear that the seedling wouldn't grow, Caleb decided that we would remain here. And whatever Caleb says is best. But now, no, I can't go back. We went against orders from Goliath. If I go back now, they'll just stick me in a cage, no questions asked.
Fenk sent me.
Did he? Well, I don't have anything to say to those albs. This whole thing between Caleb and Fenk is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fenk meet an alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the alb Fenk met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About this situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
I should speak to Caleb before I give you any advice.
Do that. The less I have to do with this, the better.